to another fabulous episode of the Hire Women podcast. I'm your host, Shelbie, and today we have episode 7 of season 3 of the Hire Women podcast, and we have a fabulous guest, none other than Parisa Rad.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it. This is awesome.
Yay, we're so excited to have you and discuss Blunt Brunch. We're so excited for next week. So before we dive into this conversation, a quick shout out to our episode sponsor. Today's episode is proudly brought to you by RMR Legacy Smalls, Respect My Region's premium cannabis flower line, available in Washington State, California. More states are popping up. The incredible strains you can enjoy include Super Mimosa, Dedication OG, London Pound Cake, Orange Sherb, Rainbow Truffle, amongst more coming up. So stay tuned and check it out at your dispensaries. Parisa, hello. How are you doing today? How's life?
I'm great. I am so excited. We're down to the countdown for our biggest blunt brunch of the year. So I'm in full event mode. I'm pretty excited. As you see, I'm mobile because our business is still a small but mighty company, just ran by the two co-founders. So we do all the things, which I know many entrepreneurs in the cannabis space can also relate to wearing many hats. We do all the things, right, when it comes to our business. So
yeah, when I sign up for events and it asks what your occupation is, a lot of times I'll just put a bunch of different hat emojis.
Yeah, right. You're like, what am I not doing these days? That's a better question, maybe shorter.
Are you in Arizona right now?
I am. Yes. I leave Saturday to Las Vegas, Nevada, and going to spend the week there for MJ BizCon. So.
Okay, so to get to know you a little better, for those who might not be familiar, Parisa is also known as the Marijuana Mama. She earned her recognition as one of the most influential women in the country in 2021, thanks to Women in Weed magazine. And she's not only a marketing executive, but also a dedicated advocate for the cannabis industry. What sets her apart is her incredible journey as a mother to a child who needed cannabis, which propelled her into the cannabis world. So now she is Senior Director of Marketing at Blunt Brunch and co-founder of Blunt Brunch.
Oh, yeah. Co-founder of Blunt Brunch. And like I said, we just wear all the hats. So, right. Yeah, just doing all the things.
So what goes into it? Like, how is everything shaping up? How has it evolved from when it started to now nationals?
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, how it started, I know those pictures, like how it started, where it is now, right? I feel like I wish I had one of those to pull up. But basically it was, we were coming out of COVID and just needing to get connection again with other women and feel like we can, get blunt about what's really going on. It was lots of things were stressful. It was crazy times, right? We were coming out of. And so it was a small group of us. I think it was about 8 women that got together and had brunch, and we were able to get blunt about all the things. And it was so refreshing and amazing. And I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what we need, and probably other women need too. And so it really started organically like that. It became like twice a month we would get together with a different group of 10 to 15 women. Then it grew to like 25, 35, and we were doing these in just Phoenix alone. And then we started taking them on the road and hosting them in other cities: Phoenix, Tucson, San Diego, Las Vegas, various cities in New Mexico. And then we've done pop-ups in LA, Chicago, New York. So yeah, we're really excited about spending more time on the East Coast this next upcoming year, and just doing a lot of just seeing where else we can take it. There's a lot of need in newer markets now for opportunities to connect with like-minded women and just help each other in the industry. That's what it's all about. Connecting the right people.
Yes. And I just wanted to take a trip down my memory lane when I first went to the Blunt Brunch in Los Angeles. And I saw you, and you had a beautiful, I think it was like a fuchsia dress.
It was pink. Yes, you have such a good memory. Oh my gosh.
Well, what struck out was then I think you just wore that to the brunch part, and then you did an outfit change for the networking.
Nobody would know why, but I'll let you know after the call.
Well, anyways, I just thought that was fabulous, and
Thank you.
you know,
Like
like
I
that's what
had to
your
change,
friends.
but
Well, that's what I mean. I just felt like it's like you're just trying to like feel yourself and just be the queen that you are, and like that's what
oh,
you're trying to exude to all the other women is just like being your most empowered self. So that was what came off to me. So
oh,
whatever.
you are so sweet. Thank you. Bless you. Actually, shout out to all the women that were there because I had a wardrobe mishap and I had to go to the bathroom and get changed. And somebody else offered me a dress. I think it was Adelia offered me the dress she had came in, and I ended up switching into that. And everybody was helping me in the bathroom, and it was really nice. It was amazing. So I was like, okay, we still have an outfit that works. We're gonna make this work.
I'm always here for an outfit change.
Yeah. Yeah, we were
So
considering doing that at our Blunt Brunch that's coming up because it's such a long event. We have from 12 to 2 is the sit down brunch where we have entertainment and speakers and just a whole lot of blunt conversation. And then we open it up for the social component where we then get to mix and mingle with our vendors who bring different activations for our guests. And that's from 2 to 5. So, and then we have more entertainment and such during that time as well. But yeah, we were thinking, should we switch it up, change out the outfits for the afternoon, like it's a different vibe. So we may be doing that. It's a good idea.
awesome. So, can you share some insights into your early experiences with cannabis? How was your family's stance on it, and how did that influence your relationship with the plant?
Wow. Dang. I don't know how far we want to go down but memory lane, but I started consuming cannabis as a young mom of a special needs child. I just was dealing with my own PTSD and issues. At 18, I think I first used cannabis, and I remember feeling really shunned for it. My family is really, a little bit more conservative, coming that they're immigrants, coming from another country. You take the law really serious, and cannabis has always been looked at as something illegal. And so, my father specifically had a lot of issues with me using cannabis, even though it was a plant and I was using it with a medical card in New Mexico at the time. It was still really taboo, and it wasn't until fast forward, years later, 10, 15 years later, that my daughter became ill, violently ill, because of prescription opioids, and it became like a life-saving tool for her, and really like the only thing that was working for her to combat her nausea and pain. And my parents finally seen it as, oh wow, this is working as a medicine. Oh my gosh, this was medicine this whole time. And I think that was, I think the pediatric view on it has really helped shape everyone else's view on it when they can see a child clearly suffering and can then see the difference that cannabis can make almost immediately. So we became advocates in this space after, seeing what it was doing for my daughter. I felt compelled as a mom to share that information with other parents or caregivers that might be on the fence or might be feeling like, oh, I can't do that. That would be so bad, and seeing like maybe a normal family, typical or whatever, is utilizing cannabis as if it is part of just our normal routine of using any other prescribed medicine. So we started sharing our journey on Instagram and Facebook and other places on social media as a tool to just get the information out, and organically was able to grow my following that way and evolve in the industry, as advocacy isn't really as necessary once we've gotten our laws shaped here in Arizona. Now finding myself really needed in the women's space and being able to connect women, but always just wanting to be a voice for others. So, using my voice where I can.
What was your first day working in the cannabis industry like, and how do you compare it to working in cannabis now?
Oh my gosh. Wow. You're really taking me down memory lane. This is fun. I remember my first speech about cannabis, and getting my first opportunity to speak about it publicly was at a Women Grow. And shout out Women Grow, because I got my many years I was with Women Grow, and they did wonders for my career. But yeah, I remember I was with Undo at the time, a company that actually helps take away the high. And they were asking me to speak on our experience in using Undo for my daughter because it actually helps clear the receptors so that you don't feel or experience the high, but you still can experience the medical benefits of cannabis. So that was kind of how I got my start. I remember feeling so nervous. And, I was just talking about my real life experience, but it was still nerve wracking. And also, though, at the same time, being in awe of who was in the room. Like, wow, look at all of these beautiful, amazing, smart, sophisticated women who also just happen to use cannabis and love cannabis. Like, this is amazing. I found my tribe. Like, I did not realize how many were out there. I didn't even know that was a thing that went with each other. Like you always look at cannabis kind of something like you shouldn't talk about. It's not classy. It's not like even feminine. Maybe it's more, all the things. And it was like a room full of seeing the opposite. And it really opened up my eyes for what could come from my career and future. So
That's beautiful. Yeah, shout out Women Grow. I work for Yummy Karma, and I know my bosses met a lot of people that they work with still today at Women Grow, and one of my coworkers was also there, and they all met. And yeah, it's cannabis is a female plant, so it's just beautiful for us to keep getting together and embracing being high and embracing just using it as a medicine as well. Is Undo still around?
They are, and they're going to be in our gift bags at our upcoming Blunt Brunch in Las Vegas, in fact. So everybody's going to get a sample of Undo.
What is it that makes it so you're not feeling the psychoactive effects, but still getting the benefits?
I am not a scientist by any means, but I know they mentioned something about it kind of like makes it quicker the way your body metabolizes it or something, so that feeling of highness is kind of like it goes away fast. Do you know what I'm saying? Like as soon as you take it, it kind of like whoop, I'm done. Like when you coming off your high, it's kind of like the feeling of that. Like I don't really feel high anymore, but I feel all right. Like I don't have anxiety or anything either. It's that same feeling.
Okay, I think I need a lot of that because I go to a lot of events, and I find myself getting a little more reserved or like a little less like wanting to talk because so but
like sitting back and be able to just like kind of observe more like when you get like that.
Well, I'm excited for that goodie bag. Okay, moving on to the bigger picture, what are your thoughts on the current state of cannabis in Arizona?
Wow. Arizona is an amazing market to get into if you have the resources. So, it is an amazing market for for companies that have the bandwidth. It's harder for startups. It's definitely not that it's not the market for a startup, that doesn't have the backing, but it's a booming market. It is like thriving. Cannabis is thriving in Arizona. So, yeah, for anybody who's really looking to expand into the Arizona market, please get at me. I would love to help open up my Rolodex of opportunities that are available in Arizona and connect you with the right people. So whether that you're looking to manufacture in the state or if you want to purchase a license and actually, do the whole vertical, there's opportunities for folks looking to get into Arizona.
And the opportunity is at the Blunt Brunch. If you go and any other state you're interested in, that's how you network.
Yes, absolutely. So get at me for all the things Blunt Brunch and connecting and licensing and brokering. I got you.
MJ BizCon is going on during the time next week in Vegas. Did you go last year to MJ BizCon?
I did. Yes. I've gone every year that I've been in the industry so far that they've had it. And it is just amazing to see how much that's grown by leaps and bounds as well, So it's always a huge, huge, extravaganza. So I'm looking forward to it again this year.
As am I. I'm really excited to represent RMR and be with the team over there. For our listeners eager to explore the Arizona cannabis scene, can you recommend any brands and products that everyone should be aware of?
There's so many great brands in Arizona. Shout out Curaleaf though, and their select brands. I love their 2-gram cart. They also have some really great mommy friendly microdose little candies, so you could feel like not guilty about like eating candy and also not getting too high. So I love those little treats. But there's so many amazing brands in Arizona. I mean, I love going to the dispensary on a regular and just seeing, new things pop up and trying different products. We have a very developed market with really great branding. In fact, Grow Sciences just came out with this like amazing box. Like, I'm just like, where did they get this? I mean, packaging is just wowie. I'm just, they keep taking it up a notch. It is not the same cannabis industry it was 10 years ago. I am just constantly amazed by branding, marketing, and packaging, and being able to see our brands on billboards, throughout the city. It's just like, it feels like it's becoming more normalized, and it just feels really good to see that for our industry.
Yeah, I think this past year, on 420, Jack in the Box did a collab with the Weed Maps.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
Yeah, and at one of the MJ BizCon after parties, I believe Sensi Media is partnered with Hearst Media. So we've come a long way, just everybody evolving and accepting cannabis and, wanting to partner and wanting to just highlight it. I'm excited for the future now.
Me too. It's exciting. I am too. Someday Amazon's going to be delivering our weed. Prime.
Oh my gosh. Right. Crazy. Are there any strains that hold a special place in your heart that you remember from your earlier days that are still available now?
I always love a good I love my sativas, so I've got to be on my sativa kick all the time with my Durban Poison. Love Durban Poison, because I hate getting the munchies. I just hate it. I'm like, if I could do without the munchie part, I would love that. But I also love Blue Dream, which is like, I believe, a hybrid, a little mix of everything, just to kind of chill, but also kind of get the gigglies and like have fun. And when I'm home, I like a good indica, I like a good purple, like something, so something that'll just get me in the bed chilling. I can turn off the phone for a little while and relax.
You're a sativa diva.
Yeah, during the day, gotta be productive.
What key factors do you believe contribute to the success of a cannabis company?
I definitely think having a realistic goals and expectations. It is still, if you're starting up a business, it's still a startup, whether it's cannabis or not. There's still going to be the same hurdles and challenges to get your business up and running. I do think that having enough financial backing is key right now. Like, the game has just changed so much that if you don't have enough funding, it's going to be really hard to even be on the same playing field as your competitors. So, doing your due diligence to get some financial backing, I think would be like a really big advice that I would give anybody that's like either looking to get in this space or wanting to, continue in this space right now.
And having more women minds.
Absolutely, always. Make sure you got a woman or two on your executive team. That's a must.
Can you give us a glimpse into your workday approach? Like, how do you prepare, organize, and execute?
As far as preparing, that's generally in advance for the day. Like, I like to always time block. I've got my day kind of figured out what I'm trying to do by each 30 minutes of the day. That's what I would say I do in preparation. And just kind of like visualizing how I want things to go too. If it's a meeting or whatever it is, like getting a strategy even in my mind together before I get out the car and meet the person. It's like, okay, I want to accomplish this in this meeting. This is the goal. This, because it's so easy to get, you get into conversations and you just start having fun and forget that, we got business to attend to. So at least I do. I always love meeting with people and learning about their businesses. So those are some tips I use to kind of keep my day focused and make sure that I'm accomplishing and executing my goals for the day.
Yes, visualization is very powerful.
Yes.
Just like having the intention when you go into it. Awesome. Thank you. Okie dokie. We're going to do a rapid fire hot takes now. What pivotal moment or experience drew you into the cannabis industry?
Definitely my daughter's experience with opioids and falling terribly ill. My daughter Yazzie, who is completely blind from birth, is also in what we call palliative care because opioids completely paralyzed her stomach and GI tract. And so she now eats with a surgical tube in her stomach, and we have a nurse around the clock. And they say that, well, not round the clock, I wish, but she's 8 to 2. I get her during the daytime hours. She's amazing. God bless Ivy. Our nurse is so amazing. But we have an in-home nurse, so it feels like we're in a hospital setting, but just at home. So life is very different for us, and that's why it was so key for me to find something to alleviate my daughter's pain and suffering. And it was cannabis, and utilizing it as a life-saving tool for my daughter, which was the pivotal point that got me into the space.
Can I ask the methods that you use?
Yeah, she's vaporizing cannabis primarily because of her GI issues. Taking edibles is really hard for her because sometimes she doesn't keep them down or whatnot. But vaporizing is like almost an immediate onset. Like she can feel relief from the nausea and pain, and even her anxiety has decreased significantly. Like her mood will change. Like even when my parents are visiting, they're like, wow, Yazzie needs to take her medicine. Like everybody kind of knows, like when, even me, I'm sure people can tell mommy needs to take her medicine too. But, it really helps with the moods. It really helps kind of calm things down and just makes life more manageable, as I'm sure you know. So,
yeah, I'm so glad. What continually inspires you to make the strides in your cannabis career?
I mean, my kids, I think they're my driving force to want to continue to one up myself from the previous year. It's always been Yazzie, my oldest daughter, but I have 2 children. I'm a single mom of 2. And so, they are my driving force, knowing that I have 2 young women, young ladies looking at me as, you know, as an example. And so I need to continue. I tell my kids they can do anything in life. And then they're like, well, how come you're not a millionaire yet? Oh, well, that's a good question. I better get on it. So they hold me accountable too. Let me tell you, especially the little one. She's so sassy, Ariana. But no, they're my driving force for sure. They continue to push me to, you know, I want to accomplish all the things for them. So.
You're a fabulous role model. I'm sure that they love having you.
Not a millionaire yet, though. Hey, she got me there. We're working on it.
What are your top 3 favorite musical artists?
Ooh, let's see. I love Drake. Definitely a Drake fan. I love Beyonce. I love old school Beyonce though. I like when she was Destiny's Child kind of Beyonce. I love me some like old school Bob Marley too. I mean, you can't ever go wrong with some old school Bob Marley. So
Thank you. What are your must-have items for a perfect smoke session? Whoops, we froze. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Sorry, technical difficulties. Bear with us. Hopefully everything can come back. Okay, we're going to wait for her to rejoin and then hopefully it'll be all refreshed. So thank you everyone for bearing with us. But in the meantime, be sure to get your tickets for Blunt Brunch next week, Nationals, during MJ BizCon. If you're going, you have to check it out. It'll be at the IPEC Hotel. So I hope we can hear more from Parisa about this. Just waiting. We're back.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened.
It's okay. I think we got you. Okay. One Munchies food and one drink you can't live without.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Dang. I love salty and sweet though. That's a problem. Can I pick two? Okay. I love a good mixed nuts, like with some pecans, salted nuts. I love that. You can't go wrong with that. And then let's see, a drink. I'm really on a green tea kick, or I just always love my espresso coffee. I just, coffee and cannabis goes so good together. It just really does. So
Love it. I do chocolate and spicy.
Ooh, I like that. Have you tried Hippie Chicks chocolates? They have all these delicious chocolates, but they put me as the Jamocha flavor because I love coffee and cannabis. So they made like a little cartoon character with like different people's faces on their chocolates. It's really cute. And so I think they did a spicy chocolate one.
Hell yeah. Is that a cannabis brand?
Yeah, it's medicated. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Not in California.
Yeah, I don't think so. They're in Arizona. So
Okay. I'll have to swing over and find that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, well, let's get back into that. What are 3 to 5 brands or products that exemplify Arizona's cannabis excellence?
Oh, wow. Oh man, I don't know why I'm having a blink of wonderful brands at the moment. I know I shouted out Curaleaf and Select's brand that they have. I do love Farm Fresh, one of our local growers out here. They make they grow their, they don't use pesticides. They use ladybugs, and I just think it's so cute. And plus, their weed is bomb. Like, it is so good. Let's see. I really like innovation, and so I love the fact that Ciga Weeds has a like cigarette looking like a cannabis joint. So you look like you're smoking a cigarette and probably feel like you are, but you're smoking cannabis. So I think I've heard that some tobacco smokers have found those really helpful with getting off of cigarettes. So those are some pretty cool, innovative brands, I would say. There's also this Ladylike brand that I came across, and they are so cute. I've been trying to work with them. So shout out Ladylike. You guys are so cute. I can't wait.
Adelia mentioned them too.
Yes, because we're like obsessed. We're like, we have to get them at Blunt Brunch. They are too cute to not be at Blunt Brunch. So we actually are going to be working with them in 2024. But so cute. I love feminine brands. I love brands owned by women, ran by women. Shout out Chaos. It's one of the small but mighty women-owned vape companies too in the space. Katie, the CEO founder, she does everything marketing from, wears all the hats, mother of like 4. So just, it's amazing to see what is in our industry and how many amazing options we have. And just knowing the people that are behind them is even more impressive, knowing that I know what it takes and like what they have to go through every day. And they still have a phenomenal brand on the shelf. So it's, I'm proud to work with all these individuals.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to meet all the other ladies from all these other companies from other states. I'm just so excited for next week. Can't tell you.
It's going to be great. I can't wait to see you in person too. It's going to be super epic at the IPEC.
Arizona culture. Are you into any sports? Do you have any favorite teams, fighters, athletes?
I mean, I'm trying to get into this whole FanDuel thing, so I'm trying to become more hip to it. but I'll be real. I don't really have a lot of time. It feels like extra for like, getting really into sports. Like I'll go, I'll watch and I like it. But as far as like a hardcore fan, nah, I'm not really like, but hey, go Suns. I know they're on in Arizona. So,
what are your go-to restaurants or must-try dishes where you're from? Are there any local gems or interesting aspects of Arizona that people might not know about?
well, I personally love Persian food. I'm Persian. So there's a restaurant here. I think it's called the Persian Room in Scottsdale. It's so delicious. And you can get an amazing kebab. That's my favorite. But whenever I want a taste of home, which is New Mexico, I go to Chandler, Arizona, where they have a restaurant called Si Senor, and you can get authentic Mexican food. It is so amazing. Best green chili you've ever tasted. And as far as just vibes and brunch vibes, because we're all about the brunch. There are so many great brunch spots in Arizona, like crazy brunch spots. But I love Hash Kitchen. We did do an event there, and it is just it's hard to have the blunt conversation over the music and the dancing and the fun and the drinks, but it's definitely a vibe. So if you're ever in Arizona, I would go check out. There's a bunch of locations of Hash Kitchen. Are you planning any this year, girl? Let me find out.
I know, I definitely
If
need
you are,
to.
I'm going to give you a whole list, okay?
Okay. What are just some of your favorite moments being in the industry, like throughout your journey? Like any fabulous times that stick out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. When I was with Women Grow, I helped produce the very first cannabis fashion line at New York Fashion Week. That was pretty epic, part of my cannabis, experiences professionally. I remember crying watching the fits come out on the runway. So it was beautiful experience. And, getting to take part in opening a license from start, to finding the and sourcing the real estate to applying for licensing. And I did all of that in my original hometown of Las Cruces, New Mexico, while I was president of 420 Collection. So that was really, really special to me to be able to go back to my hometown and bring all the knowledge and experience and passion that I have and share that with my community and be able to, from the very beginning, start something like that and watch it grow and even to operations, being able to help operate it. So that was quite the experience, thinking about going from a mom that just was an advocate for this plant that loved to smoke weed when she was 18 to now being like, oh my gosh, as a professional, I've done so many really cool things in this space. I've been able to travel all over the world, host events in Puerto Rico and, just really cool locations while I've been in the cannabis space. So I've really had a blessed career and experiences. And again, it was just, thanks to following my passions for my daughter that really have brought me into all these wonderful experiences. So shout out Yazzie.
But I love fashion, and I kind of want to talk about the fashion week a little more. Like how did that come about with Women Grow, and like talk more about it. Like, did you do designing, or were you just finding the designers and models?
While I was with Women Grow, we partnered with Kato Mamalu, who was a Project Runway designer and winner, and she had she had already been working with New York Fashion Week, and so she debuted some of Women Grow's line in her runway show. So it was just really, really cool because they'd never done that before, and they even had models vaping down the runway. Like it was so hot. It was like so fancy, beautiful, elegant, so New York runway, but it was also like, and she's vaping cannabis.
I just love that. I want to go to New York Fashion Week, putting that out into the ether one day.
Yes.
But yeah, I've seen Sunday School. I think that brand was in New York Fashion Week last year. So I just love cannabis and fashion and just leveling up and being on that high fashion vibe.
Hell yeah.
Dope. what is the most underrated or overlooked aspect of Arizona that you think deserves more attention?
I just think people think we're living out in the middle of like, I don't know. Whenever, like, I was even watching 60 Days in the other day. It's one of my favorite reality TV shows, and they had a Arizona edition, and it made it seem like it was the wild, wild west. And they even had this like, like it was just really funny to me. I'm like, we are the fifth largest city in America. Like Phoenix is a booming city, you know. Like we're not in the middle of like we're not in the sticks over here, but for some reason I think that perception is very wild, wild westy, and that's just, I think, a misconception. But outside of that, I do think that one thing that is a hidden gem about Arizona are like hikes and trails. There's so many beautiful things that you can go outside and just enjoy nature. You can probably drive about 30 minutes outside the city, you know, and just find yourself in a desert, and it's beautiful. Now within the city, there's like tall buildings, you're in a full city experience, you know, there's traffic, and it's just like a normal big city. So, but you can find yourself in that beauty of the desert with a pretty fairly quick drive.
Do you know if that Flintstones park is still around?
Flintstones Park. I don't know if I know of that.
Okay, I wonder if it's in Nevada or Arizona. I thought it was Arizona, but it was like they had Fred's house and like
Oh, really?
go around and go into it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, I haven't heard of that.
Okay, I'll find out. As a professional in the industry, what legacy do you aspire to leave behind?
Wow. Well, I always have said, you know, it'd be nice to make a lot of money before I leave this industry. That's something I haven't done yet. So, can I leave that legacy for my kids? Sheesh, I'd love to make some money. No, I mean, you know, some real bucks. But no, I think the biggest thing is that I want them to make an impact, and I feel like I could say even today I've done that. So if I were to leave today, I'd feel good about the ride I've had in the cannabis industry and what I've been able to do. I still think that there's so much more that we can do within cannabis, and I'm excited to see the continued new energy and new professionals that come into the space. You know, as OGs, we always, there's this like, oh, how long have you been in the industry? Well, no, how long have you been? You know, there's this competition. It's like, actually, some of these new people coming in this space are bringing some really cool new energy and experience and, you know, professionalism and leveling us up and taking our industry to the place that it needs to be. So, you know, just being open to that and excited to continue to meet new people that can help me even level up.
And what else can we be excited for with Blunt Brunch? And what are just like some moments from the Blunt Brunch journey in general, like any like networking or people that you've met or things like just amazing moments that have stuck out at any of the Blunt Brunch that we can look forward to at the next one?
Wow, we had so many special moments with the Blunt Brunch. I feel like every Blunt Brunch has been super memorable for me and special in all the ways, you know, with the connections, with the conversations. Like I said, I usually am just in awe of how many other amazing women are in the room with me. I'm like, wow, and I get to be here with all of you. You know, I feel like the fangirl. But I think we continue to want to also, you know, outdo ourselves from the year before. So just bringing more entertainment factors and making sure that
There you are.
am I back? I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Okay, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, you're good.
Okay, I can't hear you, but for some reason. But okay, thank you. Just looking forward to the entertaining factors, you know, bringing more wow moments. For us this year, we're bringing in a therapist to help us with our blunt conversation. And so I feel like I'm hoping that people really feel like that conversation hit a place where they feel like they were able to get some growth from that. So
awesome. I don't know if you can hear us, but I'm excited.
I don't know why I can't hear you now. I am having the most technical difficulties today. Like, seriously. Hold on, maybe you. Hello?
La la la. No.
This is so sad.
No, it's not sad. It's blunt.
Great. I can hear now again.
Okay, all right, good.
You're a magic woman. You have so much patience dealing with me today.
No problem.
Oh
But yes, we're just so excited to meet next week in person, do some live interviews. RMR will be there. Meeting
live, I'm better because then you don't have to rely on my technology, okay?
Right, we'll be in person side by side. I'm just so excited for the IVs that I heard are going to be there, therapy, entertainment, food, the waffle bar.
So many great things.
The fashion. So, well, just in time. It's been an absolute pleasure having Parisa on our show today. Before we wrap up, we just wanted to thank everybody for tuning in. It's been a fabulous and roller coaster conversation, but that's just shows like she's busy, she's on the road, she's getting things prepared for next week. So we're excited to meet all these other fabulous female and everyone professionals in the industry. So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Hire Women Podcast. I'm your host, Shelbie. Don't forget to leave us a review, like, follow, and just subscribe to our Instagram, YouTube channels, all of our platforms. And if you're in Arizona, be sure to check out Blunt Brunch, tap in with Parisa on everything social media. Parisa, where can we find you and what would you like to leave us with?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, shoot. Well, I believe she is the Marijuana Mama on Instagram. She's also on LinkedIn. She's on Blunt Brunch. And Respect My Region is at your local delivery and dispensary. Stay blessed. Until next time, peace. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.